Welcome to E&E ChitChat. That's a segment we're calling I'm Ethan, this is Eric, and this is where we chit-chat. You can see we got some mannequins on our sides. We have Liaga, Pago, and then in the middle, who's a good boy? This is Scrap. He's our tiny but mighty hero. And this is the stage setup that we brought and debuted at Comic-Con at the Los Angeles Convention Center on October 4th to the 6th. And if you check out our channel previously, we have a video of the pre-Comic-Con, what we were hoping to do, game planning if you want to check that out, and now we're going to assess how it went. So buckle your seatbelts and get ready for some stories.
Assessment time. Mm-hmm. So what do you think of the show, the experience?
Well, it was my first time at Comic-Con, and also being in the exhibition space, showcasing. So a lot of lead-up work going into bringing all this stuff, packing it out there, rented a U-Haul and unloaded a bunch of stuff very carefully, like this quarter-scale model of the world. And yeah, the show itself went fantastic because we put in all the little details to come and showcase our vision. But it all made it worth it when we saw the reactions from our fans and people for the first time seeing what the world of Imago was. And yeah, that made it worth it.
You know, it's gratifying because you could see it in the way young people and people of all ages' eyes lit up when they discovered us. I mean, it sounds self-serving, but we kept hearing over and over how much we stood out against the sea of graphics, the sea of black that was swathing a lot of booths. We had this fresh, bright, colorful presentation and very dimensional, very sculptural. People kept using ooh and wow, and you know, it was very gratifying to see people's response. And you know, the show coordinators turned out an incredible booth presence at a corner at two main avenues. We couldn't have asked for really a better first time effort with LA Comic Con. So we want to shout out to Alan. Alan, thank you for that. Who really checked in on us, and our booth kind of broke the boundaries of the 10-foot by 10-foot space. Nobody had any problems because they were just happy we were there. It was keep coming back to the word gratifying, but really an opportunity to introduce a lot of people new to this world, new to the idea that you could make this whole world out of paper. I mean, so much of what was there were the usual merchandising things or plastic toys, and here was this very different way of being all together. Action figures that you can build yourself, fully articulated, even more so than a lot of the plastic versions. And it was made out of paperboard that has recycled content and can be completely recycled once the play and experience with it is over. And you know, getting all those points across was very intense. I mean, we were like gravelly voiced at the end of it, lots of talking.
Oh, not gravelly voice. I completely lost my voice by the third day, and I had some friends that I invited to check out the booth. And when they heard me, they were like, "What is wrong with you?" And it's the trade show culture.
Yes, you must like to talk, otherwise you're in for some very big surprises because people had all kinds of questions, and it was an opportunity to talk about the books and the novels that are going to start coming out at the beginning of next year. And that was very exciting to be able to get a little expansive into the actual narrative behind this whole world, not just the characters, but how they interact. The fact that they come from a very complex, intricate world full of intrigue, politics, conflicts, all those kinds of things that give, you know, life its details, and you know, and connecting the dots with the sculptural exhibition to the Illustrated, because we had that sample book that I pulled out several times, and it was paging through, showing people and watching their eyes light up even further, realizing, oh wow, this is a very detailed world. So
yeah, people were like, how can this exist? Because they were browsing the shelves and the rows of loud graphics screaming at you with a lot of dark backgrounds. And then of course you have the corporate side and all those entities showcasing. But yeah, we really stood out like with a one-of-a-kind presentation.
yeah,
And
that was
Yeah.
firmly, continually confirmed. And it's okay to be different for different sake, but really there was substance behind the difference. I mean, people, so much so they were willing to walk away with a character shelling out some money for it. And we had sales, we had people registering, following us on Instagram. We even have people from other parts of the country. We had one guy, Martin, shout out to you, thank you for your purchases, who bought every character and 6 scraps and said, I want to buy more. I'm only restricted because I'm from Washington, D.C., and I have luggage constraints. So we're going to hear from him probably, and other people. And speaking of, we had so much interest from educators who want to introduce scrap into their classrooms as a build experience, which is perfect. This is about developing critical thinking skills along with reading. All the things that we talk about, how you can come to this world, came together. And yeah, I mean, it was a lot of work. Oh my goodness. A lot of work getting prepped for the show, delivering to the show, working the show, but very gratifying to see eyes light up, see, basically the future of our fellow humans' involvement with this world. And we got to be very happy about that, along with the fact that we have, some business opportunities that might be springing from the exposure as well. So who knows where this is going to go. But in a lot of ways, you folks are just witnessing the beginnings of the next phase, right?
Yeah, I think it's really awesome. We can just put ourselves out there and see what happens. So from all the schools who were interested in incorporating our scrap and our build system into their curriculum, that's a really exciting avenue we hope to pursue more in the educational realm. So also a great way to kind of bring the brand's public face with our entry-level product. It takes the lowest amount of time, about like 10 to 15 minutes from a middle school grade level to build. And it's a great way to familiarize yourself with the parts, how they work together, and just to reiterate that scrap, along with the other creative art venture projects, are a craft that you build and decorate, and then a toy that you play with as well. So it's got a lot of different components to it, and we're hoping to also implement it into probably a couple hospitals, help with like patient wellness care, and that is another avenue we're hoping to engage with and try to spread our wings.
Definitely. And let's be clear, it was all ages. I can't tell you how many people I talked to who eventually bought scrap in particular, not for some kid in their life, but for themselves.
Yeah, great point.
And we had some of the people in charge of setting up the show for all the technical stuff, engineers. I had one engineer, I think his name was Jim, who just was giving me the dissertation on the Imago brick, just going over on what a wonderful engineering feat in detail it is. And he was expressing all this internal dialogue I usually have about people just don't understand how deep and effective in a building unit this Imago brick is. And he was giving me the whole thing about it. And it was just, this is a guy who's worked countless shows at the convention center, and he's going off on what we're doing. I took that as really great testimony to we're onto something. We've known it, but it's so gratifying. Again, I'm going to use that word a lot, to hear other people talk about this and coming from their own perspectives. And again, people from all ages. I mean, this engineer was probably, in his 40s and, geeking out on our world and how the brick just makes everything happen, and the architecture of it. And then going on to realizing that it's a whole system that you can even build characters from. So I'm so happy with that set of experiences. Like I said, a lot of work, but joyful work for sure.
New meaning to pages spring to life when you open it up, I guess you could say. And this is call to action for all ages. We saw it here first. Adults wanted to build and decorate scrap. We want to get it into different work houses, corporate entities. If we have a cubicle challenge for a bunch of colleagues to take 10 minutes to start their day building and sharing the social interaction with the offices next to them, that would be a really powerful message to provide some unity for the work culture, I think. So a lot of really exciting avenues to put scrap into, and we're hoping he chases and gets us some attention because he does have a bit of charm to him. So we're gonna let scrap go out and see what this good boy can bring back.
Yeah, can't ask for a better ambassador. He is the little hero that can, and he will be championing our world, really. And of all the complex characters that have been developed, I mean, when you look at Imago or Pago over here, they're much more intricate, many more parts. It's this little character who kind of has a special place in my heart as a creator, just because it's such a small package doing so much, and a great way to introduce people to how to build things in this world. And that was clear at the show. It's clear every time somebody has a scrap in their hand, and we'll just continue getting scrap out there and take it with it. So, well-traveled model now.
Mm-hmm. And well, this is the home, by the way, that the model sits within, our workshop, coming to you live from North Hollywood, California. And hoping to be doing these interviews a little more consistently now to attract more people and answer some questions. So if you want to put in the comments section what you want us to talk about, any questions, we'd love to answer them and share more about what we got in store.
Great. That's a good note to end on.
All right, short and sweet.